But I think we are ready here. All right, I have papers for you. To add to your folders. These we're going to use tonight. These are your trackers for tonight. Uno, dos. A tracker for you and a random thing for you. For you. For you. And Nancy, there's the video too. So you can also go back and watch last week's class. Everything we did last week is recorded, and you can go back and watch that as many times as you need to, as in fact. So if it didn't stick, we can...
So what's the address for the video?
Did you get the email from me? If you didn't get my email...
I got a late one that says, missed you, here's the email.
Oh,
does that make sense?
No.
No?
Missed you. Did you sign up for my Brain Boost?
I signed up for 2 months.
No, I know. The only missed you messages I send out are my morning virtual sessions. But I don't think that's it.
Oh.
I sent an email out with the recording. If you didn't get it, let's make sure I have the right email address.
Okay.
And then that will have the link to the video.
Okay.
And you can go back and watch that first class and make sure that it makes sense.
I'll do that.
But we might find golden drills for you today, in which case could be better than. Instead of. But I want you to remember this stuff from the first class anyway, so I think it's worth going back and doing that. Hi, everyone. Hello. Sorry for the late start. We had a furniture issue, but we're here. I would love to just have a quick check-in. How did the week go? Did you do your drills? If so, how did they feel? What did you notice? Any changes? Any questions from this last week? Yes.
Well, when you talk about the flossing your ankles,
Yes.
how many times do you floss?
5.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be long. It can be fast, and it can be enough. Yeah? You mean like in a set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a few little pulses can be enough to shift things.
Okay.
Yep. Anybody else? Thoughts, feelings? Yes?
My ear feels better.
I love that. That's amazing. That's amazing. I know. We came for back pain, but hey, we'll fix your ears while we're at it. But here's the thing, right? Like that, there's potentially fluid in the ear, right? That is connected directly to the vestibular system. It's all one giant apparatus, very small apparatus. It's not giant at all. But if we're doing some vestibular activation and you get into ranges of motion, part of what's interesting to me, first of all, the vestibular system is directly connected to the immune system, directly connected. So working the vestibular system, you are working your immune system. For me personally, getting into neck positions that I'm not in all the time, oftentimes will drain the lymph in ways that we might not have been doing in a while. I think we'll do lymph another week. It's super valuable. But yeah, so it could be as simple as that. But yeah, it's all connected. So good news, if we clear that out, your balance probably will improve, which is fun. Anything else? Did you find some high payoffs? No? Pretty neutral? You stayed neutral? Okay. Mostly neutral. Okay. Did you tried increasing the challenge? Yes, or was that you?
Yeah, I tried doing more reps.
Yep.
I didn't quite know what to do.
Yep. And it didn't make much of a difference. Okay. No worries. It was week 1. With the pencil push-ups, we're going to play with those today. And actually, there may be some things that show up that might clean that up. And that may give you the results, especially if the eyes were having a hard time. Anybody video their eyes doing that? Yeah. What'd you see?
They were crossing, but this one crosses less than this one.
Okay, great. Good to notice. What'd you see?
Depending on what hand I'm using.
Oh,
That's interesting.
You know.
okay.
I mean, in the sense of when I used my left hand, it was more evenly focused. When I did my right hand, I could see the vision shifting in my right eye.
Now that's fascinating. It's really interesting. It could be the cerebellum on that side. It could be, who knows? There's a lot of things it could be, but good noticing. Use your left hand. Okay, great. Perfect. Anybody else? Yes.
Would it matter if you bring glasses or not?
Yes, it will matter. Everything matters, but it's worth doing both. So if you can, as long as you can keep that target in as it's coming in and you've got glasses on, yeah, being able to see the target will make a difference, but also doing it without the glasses so your eyes have a chance to experience that as well, also useful. Fantastic. Anything else?
I found the ankle nerve glides help my balance a lot.
Awesome. Great. Fantastic. Yes, those are juicy. Okay, we ready to jump in? Did everybody bring their packs and their folders and everything? Cool. I'm going to add to your packs. We're going to start off with the drill that's actually at the bottom. Hopefully, Nancy, this one will make sense. It says colors. We're going to play with colors. This one should be straightforward enough. Although the science behind it is somewhat cool. I went shopping for you all. After I watched your eyes not moving, I was like, no, we need to fix this. So we're going to talk about colors, and you're going to play with them and see what happens. Colors impact the midbrain. It's the optic nerve, right? You have anything coming in through the eyes is going to theoretically impact the midbrain. But color in particular can activate or inhibit activity in the midbrain. Why does this matter? Well, the eyes two of the cranial nerves for the eyes go directly into the midbrain. In particular, the one that crosses your eyes here and the one that crosses your eyes here. So if we're going to try and improve your pencil push-up, sometimes adding some colors can make a difference. The other reason this is important, anybody you don't need to say this out loud, but if you have anxiety or there's a tendency to be overwhelmed and stressed, the midbrain is the start of the sympathetic nervous system. So if that is having issues, you can end up with hypersensitivity, hypersympathetic responses, aka feeling stressed and overwhelmed. What's fascinating is that midbrain may be hyperactive for its own reasons, in which case we'd want to theoretically quiet it down, but it may be hyperactive because it's activating itself, because nerves are use it or lose it, parts of the brain are use it or lose it. If I'm not getting enough activity to that midbrain, and it's situated in the middle, so it is impacted, it's supposed to be receiving information from all of these different parts of the brain. It could be that some part of the brain is not functioning as much as we'd like, and that midbrain is not getting enough activation to stay at homeostasis. It will self-activate and usually be hyperactive as a result of that. So sometimes we need activity in order to quiet down that midbrain. Does that make sense? It's the same concept as someone with ADHD taking a stimulant and getting calmer. Yes, exactly the same principle. Well, not quite, but close enough an example. So we're going to play with colors, and this is not just to fix your pencil push-ups. Some of you had beautiful pencil push-ups, but I have seen game-changing forward bends, game-changing, forgot my clip, so I'm not allowed to forward bend, and my microphone's going to go down my shirt. Game-changing, just how I feel in my body, movement generally, right? With color. Green, we're each going to get a pair of all three of these, and if you like them, you can take them home, and if you don't like them, you can leave them here. Green is calming. So if I do have a hyperactive midbrain, I will start with green, and that oftentimes will help people calm down. I also find green super helpful for people who, assuming it's right for their brain, oftentimes green can help the eyes relax when we're doing vision training. So if you found pencil push-ups hard, these can be helpful. That said, if your brain is seeking activity, red will activate, and that may actually improve the vision as well. And then blue activates even more. How many of us have heard about blue light from our computers, right? We're supposed to avoid it. Well, maybe, but some of you may actually need a bit more activation. Wouldn't it be nice to know? I'll just say this is not what my computer looks like. This is blue. The blue light that's coming off the computer, I believe, is ultra, right? Ultraviolet. I don't know. So I've seen this test so well on people who are using blue light blockers on their computer, and that works well for them. So it's different and worth trying. So we're going to play with these. Let's get some baseline assessments and see where we're at. So if you want to check range of motion, balance, just kind of check in with yourselves. And check we'll do balance first. Just see where you're at. Heel toe, if that feels good. Nice. Okay. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Just finding your wobble. Okay. And then if you want to check your hand flippers, one hand going on top, flipping that. How's that functioning tonight? My right hand is not as good as it could be. Left hand on top, you can flip that. Excellent. And then, yeah, let's check if it feels all right to do a back rotation. You can do a spiral. If you want to do a forward bend, touch the floor. I like feet together. Here's why. You don't have to. I just can be really specific then. So if I come back and redo it and my legs are at a different position, it's just not quite as scientific. But generally speaking, you can sense whether you're good. Excellent. Everyone have a sense of where they are? Okay, great. All right, let's get glasses. I think I'll just you can pass that down. Take one, pass it down. We've got blue, take one, pass it down. And green. And just to say, one of the reasons I love these colors, and I usually start with clients with colors, because if these work for you, all you have to do is put the glasses on, and then your life changes. And it can be that amazing. So these passive things can be super valuable. Thank you. And they're little hearts, yes. If you can put them over, under, yep. Perfect, thank you. So let's start with green. You got your green, excellent. The lights in here are a little dim, but we'll get some feedback here. But it's pretty simple. We put the glasses on and we recheck. Now, obviously, if you were checking balance with your eyes closed, give yourself a little bit of time with the eyes open first. And then you can close your eyes. You could check your other things first if you want to. If you want to check rotations, forward bends, whatever you're feeling. Does it make you worse, Pam? Oh, made it better. Okay, great. And then the hand flippers. Oh, that is way better for me. Okay, that was surprising. I don't normally test that well with green. How interesting. Yeah? Okay, who got better? 1, 2. Who's neutral? Yep. Who got worse? Nobody. Okay, great. Take those off. Grab the red ones. Right? And then recheck. Let's check rotations. Yes. Hand flippers, forward bends, whatever you've got. And then check your balance. Made your flipper better? Okay. I'm going to do that in just a second. Maybe. Did it make you better, Taryn? Okay, great. Who got better? Yes. Maybe a little. Okay. Neutral. Okay, neutral, neutral. Grab the blue. If you're happy with the red, you can stick with the red. But let's be scientific. We'll check them all. Now, these are dark blue. So these are blocking light, which is worth noting. For some people, that may be awesome. For some people, it might not be. But maybe spend some time looking at a light through the blue just to kind of get a sense of that, and then recheck. How is that feeling? Any changes with blue? Your balance got worse with the blue. Okay. Yours got worse with the blue. Yours got worse with the blue. Okay. Worse. Definitely don't use the blue. Okay. Pick. Your flipper got better. Oh, I do love a good mixed result, but you got better flipper. So maybe go with you had a good flipper result from the red though, right? So maybe do red. Grab your pens and let's do pencil push-ups with your favorite color on. So whichever color you liked the best or tested the best for you. Anybody need a pen? Got it? Okay, great. So we're going to take that pen and you're going to look at it and you're going to bring that pen in towards the bridge of your nose and then bring it back out again. Hey, what? Oh, I wonder if you're on the way out. Rest. Anybody noticing a difference with this? They're moving. They're moving. Yours are so dark, I have no idea if they're moving. Okay, great. Rest. Recheck now. So now we're stacking things. We're adding color to the eye drill. Recheck and see if that made a difference for you. And especially those of you getting neutral results, I would love to know what happened. Any change?
With all 3 exercises?
Or any of them. Did you notice any change? How are we doing? Still neutral. Okay. You got better balance? Okay. How about you? A little better balance. Okay, great. So my guess is you're going to need the activation of the red. It was interesting that the blue made it worse. Too much, or maybe it was too dark. And we're going to just keep cranking things on you and see what we can find. How did you do?
I feel like the balance got a little worse.
Okay. Okay.
Not a big amount.
Okay, the blue with the eye drill.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe try the red with the eye drill.
Okay.
Actually, I'd love to see you do that. How did you do?
Neutral.
Neutral. Okay.
Now this is painful for me to stand.
Go ahead and sit. There is no reason you need to stand right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
please sit anytime you need to. You can check balance, hop up and check balance as needed. You can also check just your neck range of motion if that's easier to do seated, or shoulder flexion. Okay. I have one more. Let me see these. They're moving better. They are moving better. Okay, recheck that for me. These will do later. That looks... Okay. All right. So you are free to take home all of these, any of these, or leave whatever you want. If you're not sure, it might be fun to try them in different lighting and just see, because this is quite dark for those blue. Sunlight, yes. We're going to play with the Brock strings now. So if you want to grab the strings out of your bags, you can use this one. I'm going to have you tie your Brock strings. I think what I'm going to have you do is bring your chairs around the room and tie your Brock strings to the bars. That looks like it's eye height if you're seated. You don't need the full string. Probably like 4 feet out would be good. I'll demo here with you.
Okay. We don't need this.
You don't need that now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to move your chair.
Uh-huh.
Or, yeah, I'm going to move your chair. Yes. Just because of the height of the bar. When you're practicing this at home, you can tie it to something eye height. And then you're going to spread the beads out along the rope. And like this. And then, Nancy, if you can hop up, we'll move your chair here. Okay. And then have a seat. Okay. Do you all want to watch me with Nancy here, and then we can get everybody set up? So, I'm going to have you.
Back up.
It's all right. The reason they have these so long is that you can do them at distance, which is awesome. But for right now, can you hold this to the bridge of your nose? So like right where I was having you aim that pencil, the rope's going to go right to the bridge of your nose.
Okay.
Nice. And then you're going to look at these beads. I'm going to have you start with the green bead here. If you're looking at the green bead, and you're looking at the hole in the green bead where the rope is going in, how many ropes do you see going into the green bead? Fantastic. How many ropes do you see coming out of the green bead? Perfect answer. That's what we're looking for. Let's go to the yellow bead.
Same two.
Great. Orange bead.
Same two.
Red bead.
Same two.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to take this red bead and bring it in even closer. And what do we have there? 1. Okay, rest for a second. So here's what we're looking for. You have 2 eyes. Each eye is sending, you can relax that down.
Okay.
Each eye is sending an image to your brain. Those images are supposed to then get combined in the occipital lobe into one image. If something is not working correctly with the eyes, your brain's going to shut down one of those images because that's stressful to see too. We're going to avoid that at all costs. Sometimes it happens, but largely speaking, in this case, one eye is just going to get turned off. So I watched you do your pencil push-ups. The eyes were moving until you got close in. And then they went, peace out.
Okay.
So I'm not that surprised that we're getting what we call suppression here. So she's great. She's got 2 images front and back. She's got those 2 focal points until she gets into this near range. And now one eye is like, nah, I'm going to take a break. So we're going to see if we can fix that a little bit. So go ahead and hold that up there. And the first thing you're going to try is just actually the opposite of what you wanted to do. We're going to shake the rope.
Go.
Does that help get you 2 images?
Well, I see 2 right now.
Oh, fantastic. 2 coming out. How about going in?
Yeah, two.
2 going in and 2
Yeah.
going out.
Correct.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, you're going to keep playing, jumping from bead to bead for a couple minutes,
Okay.
or you can rest and recheck as needed. Everyone else, let's get you tied up. That sounds terrible. That's not what I meant. Get your ropes tied up. Yes, it does,
Okay.
but not totally.
Okay.
So you should still be able to get an image from each brain, each side of each eye, but it probably, there's a good chance that it's not suppressing through all of these other ones. So that's good news. So yeah, just kind of play with it and explore.
Can we do it standing up?
If you want to do it standing up, we could, I just don't see anything to attach it to eye height.
Kneeling?
You want to kneel?
I could get a pad.
What if we attach it to this over here? And it does not need to be scientific, the distance. We could try attaching it here. It'll be a little bit up, but it should be fine. This little thing here, I'm wondering if we can slide that right on there. Nice.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And then you can pick your distance. If you know that you have distance vision issues, by all means, make the rope longer. And just a reminder, why are we doing this for a back pain and balance class? Midline. Yes, exactly. This is your two eyes coming in to talk to each other. And if they're not talking to each other well, we could end up with the midline issues.
They cross,
What do you mean by crossing?
lines cross.
Not where you're looking? Means you're not looking at the thing you're looking at.
So I look at the one, I can't see it going in or out. Literally it crosses. So literally one line comes out and one line comes out that way. If I look at this bead,
Uh-huh.
the string goes that way and one goes that way.
Like it shoots off in the other direction, but the other beads are okay?
I'll have to like, close my eye there. I have really bad right eye. No. It's like they go this way and then they go that way.
Okay, but you have two ropes, but they're not coming in or out of the bead.
They come in and out of the green.
If you're looking
And
at the
they don't-
green.
They're not parallel.
They're not supposed to be parallel.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
On the back of your sheets, if you are confused at all, I drew you, or I did not draw this at all. I took it from the internet, what it should look like.
Oh, then it does look
It does look like that.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not broken at all. You're doing it exactly. Your eyes are working just perfectly. Anybody else want their sheet? Any confusion? How are we doing? Do you have two ropes?
I have two ropes, I can't tell if I have two at the very last one, but it might be my distance.
It may also be that the bead is
Oh,
just
it's
slightly
having
down.
the
If I
same-
move that
it's having
there,
the same issue. The last one seems like it doesn't.
you're losing the rope
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that
Okay.
because it is actually angled down. It's probably hiding behind the bead because it's not totally straight. If you're getting two ropes with the rest of them, I'm going to say you're fine.
Yeah, because from orange on, I get two.
Great.
I don't get two. In the,
Back from the red. That's fine. You could try, I don't know what you would do. Go into a split where you can get your head lower? It's not a super scientific setting. Okay, good. Once you've done that, recheck.
you put the bead close. I still can't get just one line.
Which one?
I can't get one line.
I don't want one line.
I can't do it even if I put it this close. I'm always going to get two.
Two beads?
Two lines.
Does it look like this?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we want.
But that one gal got it where like she did, she saw one.
But we don't want that.
I don't want one at all.
You don't want one. You don't see the bead at all when it comes in?
I can see it to here. It's still all two lines.
Great. That's what we want.
So how long do we stay here?
You're going to go recheck now.
Oh, recheck.
Recheck.
stuff.
Yes.
Stuff.
Yes. We're going to see what your brain thought of this game. Yes.
That stuff.
If I, let's say I'm focusing on the green,
Mm-hmm.
I see two purple,
Yes.
two blue,
Yes. One green. Yes.
one all the way down.
Look at the drawing. This is exactly what I want you to see.
But there's nothing, it goes to a V, not an X.
So you're looking at the green bead.
Okay,
You have two purples and two blues.
well.
If you're looking at the
Yeah,
green,
now I have two purples and two blues,
but only one yellow.
one yellow, everything beyond that.
What happens if you're looking at the yellow line?
If I look at the yellow
Yellow bead.
bead,
hmm
same, nothing changes.
So you're missing the divergence, the part that's moving beyond it.
If I look at the orange bead, then I see two purple, two blue, two green, one yellow, one orange, one red.
Ah, so it is a distance. Okay, so go back for just a second. Can you close your right eye for me? Is that doable? Okay, did the rope on the back jump?
Everything's over on this side.
Okay, great. Switch eyes.
Everything's over on the other side.
Yep, open the other eye. Did that give you two ropes?
Nope.
Nope. And if I shake it,
This is monovision.
and that might be what it
might
is
be
then.
what's
Yep.
going on
So
up
try
here.
this at home with the contacts out
Okay,
and see if that makes a difference.
shake it.
Shake it.
Same.
Okay,
So I
try
gotta
try it without the contacts. Yep, but it should theoretically, it's suppressing. So this is basically what I would expect it to do if you're getting two images that are different. Nice that it's working up close, but yeah, try it without that and see, and then recheck. How are we retesting with this? Yay! Okay, good. We got something. How are you doing? Did anything change in hand flippers or your neck range of motion?
I think
No, about the same? Okay. All right. Okay, I'm so glad I brought the ropes. All right. Good.
Now, if I can't bounce normally,
So this is
how
something,
would I?
right. So this is something I want to find something for you that you can notice, because part of this may be that it's just not clear in your body what you're feeling. The hand flippers, do you notice any changes with those at all?
No.
Okay.
Fine. Same.
They stay the same. I might start muscle testing you. It might be worth doing just to see.
I have curvature.
Yeah, but that's, what do you mean?
I have scoliosis.
Right, but
So the right side is more forward than the left side.
right, and the muscle testing, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your nervous system's response, your ability to hold strength.
Okay.
So let's just try this. Can I see your right hand?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna do thumb and little finger. Any issues with these fingers?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna gently pull. You're gonna push. Try and pull your fingers together really hard. Don't let me pull them apart. Okay. Let's check the other hand. No, that actually wasn't bad.
So, okay.
Yep, I was pulling pretty hard. Put these two together. Don't let me win. Now that. Any pain with that?
No.
Okay. Do one more time. Don't let me win.
Boy, it's just like I have
It's
no
a little bit
control
weaker
whatsoever.
on that side. You have some. I've seen way worse.
Okay, all right.
So let me just keep checking your hand flippers,
Uh-huh.
but let's keep checking in with that as well. So
This
we
doesn't
just,
flip as fast.
that one doesn't flip as fast.
Right.
Okay, great. But we'll know if it's getting worse or better potentially, or we won't, and it'll just be all neutral, in which case then we know it's literally a neutral response and not you not being able to sense the change,
Okay.
which often happens. This is not abnormal. It's just, finding something that you can actually feel changes in,
It's what we
especially,
want to do.
it's what we want to do.
Sometimes that feels like it's so minuscule, whatever it is, or one day, like my balance is just off all day long.
Right.
So everything is different.
Which is why I want you to check before you do the drill and check after, because it's how am I now, and did this drill have an impact on me? And you can use literally anything. So if this is not, if you're rock solid here, we're gonna have to make it harder. If you're really not rock solid here, we're gonna have to
Love
make
do
it
that.
easier, because the fact that you've looked at some beads, I mean, I have seen it happen. I have seen miracles happen with this, but the likelihood that we're going to get one, I'm not banking on it, right?
Right.
So we want something that you truly can feel the difference in.
Right.
There's a couple other options I can think of, but for tonight, let me just come pull on your fingers periodically.
Okay.
How did you do?
Good.
Yeah?
On the very farthest
Yeah.
peak, I didn't really see the two.
That's fine. We were talking about that over here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with the fact that the rope's not totally even,
Yeah.
and you can't quite. It's like the rope's hiding behind the bead.
So
So
I think the balance was a little better.
okay, great, fantastic. But you saw.
A little
Did you try pulling the bead in close?
Yeah.
And you got two ropes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That actually was what I wanted, was to make sure your eyes were, in fact, tracking this. So one thing you can play with, instead of the pencil push-up, you can play with the bead. And doing this drill, moving that bead in and out. Yep.
Right.
So you're tracking. We didn't do it.
Right.
So that's something you can play with and do that instead,
Okay.
as an alternative to
Just keep doing sort of.
exactly. What?
Helps them with the colored glasses.
Fantastic. Yes. So if you're having problems, try the colored glasses
And with the beads.
with the beads.
Okay.
Yes.
If
I actually have,
see an X, is that common?
what we want is the
Like
X.
the yellow is right
If you're
in the middle.
looking at the yellow,
Yeah. it
that's
looks
what we
like that.
want. That's exactly what we want to have happen.
Okay.
So you've got an image from each eye looking at the focal point.
Right.
There's two images in front and two images behind.
And this focal point can change, right?
You're going
I
to
mean,
move
I
that
can
focal point.
purposely
Yes, exactly.
take blue.
Exactly. So the reason there's all the beads is so you can test it at different lengths.
Okay.
These are long. Part of what's cool with this, if this feels fun and easy to you, you can start to do this in different positions. There's a story I often tell about a baseball player who was fine, no suppression whatsoever, but he was having shoulder pain while batting. And they had tried everything with his shoulder. They put him into a batting stance and used the beads here, and he was suppressed in this position. So his brain was shutting down one image of his eye in this position. When they trained him here, shoulder pain went away. So once they got him to be able to use both eyes, I mean, it's a big deal when you're playing baseball and something's flying at your face, right? You want both of your eyes on. Baseball players have some of the best eyeballs in the world, right? But his were getting a little wonky in his sport-specific position. So you can play with these. These are yours, right? Experiment with them. Find what's, see if sometimes there's a stamina piece to this. I usually am fine for about 10 seconds and then one starts ghosting. That might be a fuel issue. It is for me. I am certain of it. But yeah, have at it. And while you're playing with it this week, shoot me an email if you notice anything or if you want some suggestions on how to play with it a little bit different. Any questions on it at the moment? Yeah.
Does it matter if you're seated or standing?
It does matter. I want you seated. It matters because everything matters in terms of this is more threatening, this is more load. If you want more challenge, you're going to stand up. You can do this in a challenging balance position, right? So find the level of challenge that your brain responds well to, and that's where we want to play.
Start with. Or is that?
Yes, start with. And then theoretically, things will improve and you can make it more challenging. You can do it standing up, but I don't want you in pain while you're doing this. There's no reason for that. So yeah, so doing it seated is totally, totally fine. I have people hook these up to computers, somewhere where you're going to see it as a visual reminder that you want to play with this. My daughter was using it before I left today. It's always fun for kids and cats. Yeah, cool. Any other questions on this? Okay, great. What's next on our sheet? Oh, yes. Let's come back to the balance. I'd like to do some of the movement pieces. One is breathing and one is movement. Let's start with the diaphragm stretch. That, if you are comfortable lying down on your back with your knees bent, that's the place I start people with this drill. If that's not comfortable for you, we can do this in a chair. We can do this in literally any position. But before we do this, I think it's worth looking at this picture of the diaphragm on the sheet. This is a stretch for the diaphragm. The diaphragm, most of us don't realize, I sure didn't, it connects down into your low back. So it's pulling on stuff every time you breathe, theoretically. If there's low back things, one of the things I definitely want to check is how is your diaphragm doing? So by stretching it, the diaphragm's like this dome, right? When we inhale, it contracts and it lowers down, which creates this vacuum to suck the air in. And then it relaxes and it pushes up and it pushes that air out. So when we do this diaphragm stretch, we're going to do it on a massive exhale. We're going to try and exhale all your air out. It is not humanly possible, don't worry, but we're going to get as close to it as you possibly can. We're going to hold that exhale while that low back is theoretically anchored at least in the direction of the ground, if that feels okay for you. Anybody know they don't like tucking their pelvis? Like that does not feel good for you. Okay. Here. Yes. Okay, great. So let's do yours. You can either do it seated, but you don't like folding. If we round through here, is this okay?
No forward, no tuck forward, no forward.
Even from the ribs.
If I keep this still.
I want you to keep this still. Yeah, that's all I need.
Okay.
And it can be small.
Okay.
Can we move the knees forward?
Move the knees forward. What do you mean?
To tuck.
Yeah. Why don't you? There's no reason to do it standing. So if that's not comfortable,
Oh, no, I was gonna lay down,
yes, you can do whatever feels good with your legs on the ground.
but because I have a rod in my back.
I want you to find whatever feels good with that. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to hit the ground, right? We can put a lumbar support in there, fill in the gaps. I just want you to not arch the back while we do this, because when we exhale, sometimes that is what happens. Okay, the next piece of equipment that we're going to consider are your shoulders. Any known shoulder problems with your arms up overhead? Okay, they're going to go back behind you. I'm going to grab some blankets. So that they don't have to work too hard. So I want them back so that you're stretching through the shoulders. Just the one?
Yeah, just
Okay.
one.
You can also keep the elbows bent. Bend your elbows slightly and then bring them. If you bring, let's bring them here. How's that?
Okay.
That good?
Yeah.
Can you relax them there? Ish?
Yeah.
How about you? That feels okay?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Your shoulders all right there?
Yeah.
Do you want some blankets?
This is okay.
That feels okay? How about you? Okay, great. How do you feel with arms up?
Okay.
Okay. How are you doing? I'm going to get you What am I getting you? Let's do the blankets. Okay, so just take a couple belly breaths in this position. Let that belly fill. And then see if you can invite that low back towards the ground. Slight tuck position if that feels all right. Will that relax on there? Does that feel okay?
Right, it's not laying on it. That's my point.
The separate arm?
That's as best as it does.
Let me get another blanket. Anybody else noticing tension? Okay. I'm gonna fill this in. Oh, bring it back
Should I
here.
lay my knees straight?
Whatever feels good for your knees. Do you want a bolster under your knees? Would that feel good? Okay, whatever. Does this feel all right here?
It's more comfortable generally than putting my legs straight.
Okay, good. That's where I want you anyway. You good? Okay, great. So here's the drill. We're going to inhale through your nose, a big belly breath. And then on the exhale, you are going to keep that low back as low as feels appropriate and empty through open mouth and open throat. All your air out. Arms stay back. When you feel like you can't empty anymore, keep emptying. Feel that belly pulling up through the top of the head. And then relax. Take a nice big inhale. Any pain with that? Okay, great. Did you feel a stretch? Did anybody feel a stretch through anywhere in the low back, chest, shoulders? All fair game, because we're talking about the lungs. Yeah? Is it stretching through there? But okay, not painful? Great, I'll take it. Let's do it again. So we're going to take a nice big inhale through the nose into the belly. And then on that exhale, open the mouth and throat and push that air out. Empty, 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 empty through an open mouth. Get that jaw out of the way. Good. And then relax. If you want an extra challenge, anybody not getting a stretch? Okay. You can come up, if it feels all right, into a bridge. So the hips come up, legs, arms still stay down. If it feels okay to lift the hips up, take that inhale. Exhale, belly pulls in. Stay empty. When you're empty, you're going to lower the hips down. And once you get the hips back down, then you can inhale again. Otherwise, do the drill with your butt down on the ground like you did it before. So we're feeling that belly pushing the air vigorously out your mouth and throat. That's what we're looking for. Sometimes this will bring gunk up. It's great. This can get into those deep lobes of the lungs that sometimes get neglected. Do one more breath of your choosing, whether you're in the bridge or on the ground. If you're in the bridge again, you're going to empty first and stay empty as you lower the hips down. Okay. Oh, I don't mind that at all. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's but that's exciting to me. Something different, something woke up. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to name, you are all lying down on your backs and you've been breathing heavy. I would like you to come up safely and as slowly as you need to, or as vigorously and athletically and beautifully as you want. I will say this, I'm going to teach this. Glide back down again. We're going to learn how to get up with the no back pain way. Can you? This is my Pilates mentor, Tanya. I'm just going to credit her right now. Keep that belly pulled in. You're going to roll to one side of your choosing. So the knees are rolling over, the torso's coming, but that belly's staying pulled in. Then you are going to use your arm strength to keep that belly pulled in and push yourself up. And if you want to create as much dramatic flair as possible, the arm can present itself. She always called this her Martha Graham move. It works for me. I don't know. And that way, this is a great way to get up and out of bed, right? Using your arm strength. You all right, Nancy? If I hold this still, can you use the chair there? Good. And then come slowly back up to standing.
Sorry.
You're good. I'm right here with you. Get your knees back on the mat so they're not good. And then let's bring this here. Oops. Do you feel sturdy there?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's not slip sliding all over the place though. I got it though.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
I usually don't have to do this in the morning.
Only in the morning
No.
because your bed is
I
higher than that.
roll- Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much higher.
Yeah. Okay. When you feel like you've reached equilibrium in this returned position, let's recheck. I would start with hand flippers. Any changes? Whoa, she even knows.
Left hand's faster.
Left hand's faster. Can I check your fingers?
Oh.
You did this seated before, so we're not being very scientific, but I'm going to try and pull them apart. And I can, but it's about the same. But
Okay.
also we were seated before, but you noticed a change in your hand flippers.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Anybody else find some improvement? Faster. Great. Just to say this from a fuel perspective, the reason that I have this in the fuel, yes, we're talking diaphragm and breath. Also that long exhale, super great at increasing carbon dioxide to oxygen ratio, right? So we're doing some exhalation work with this. Did you get worse? Yeah? Okay. Let's do one more quick little diaphragm thing. You can do this seated, you can do it standing. I'm going to have you round forward slightly, only from the rib cage. Stick your fingers up underneath the ribs. It shouldn't hurt, but it might be tender. Go gently. On your inhale, your diaphragm is going to descend and push your fingers out. On the exhale, fingers are going to come up underneath.
But your back is not curved.
Your back is not
Your
curved.
tailbone is straight.
Tailbone is
So
straight.
just your
And we're about to do an exercise to learn how to do this better, but we're going to do the diaphragm piece first. Okay. On your next inhale, as the diaphragm's dropping down, I want you to gently, boop, push up with your fingers real fast. Boop. And then let it go. On the inhale. So you're pushing up against the diaphragm as it relaxes down, or as it contracts down. See if you can take your shoulders out of it. This may be easier seated, but apparently I'm teaching this standing tonight. So it's reflex speed, just boop, pushing up on that diaphragm. On the inhale. Good. And then relax. Recheck that. Hurt your fingers.
When you're doing your flipper, should your elbows be bent or arms be straight?
Doesn't matter, but be consistent. I like them comfortably down by my waist. But if that doesn't feel comfortable, then do them here. There is another one you can use. You can do arms straight out and flip here. And see if one feels like it doesn't belong to you. It's another cerebellar assessment. Yeah, there's a whole other level of stress going on with that. Yep, I hear you. Okay, great. Okay, so we've done that, and that. Fantastic. We've got 2 more to go. I have no idea what time it is. So let's do these thoracic glides. Let's grab your chairs, or you can sit on your mats, whichever feels good for you. In the picture, I am seated with one leg here, which gives you a nice anchor to the knee, but you can also do this in a chair, which will lock out your pelvis. If you've been in my Pilates class, we do this drill all the time. One of my favorite drills. Everything that keeps us alive runs through our thoracic spine. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the audio on this is probably going to be, I'm just realizing it's falling down my shirt. It's going to be crinkly and noisy, and I'm sorry. Okay, so grab the, no, I'm going to do it for you. Go ahead and sit down. I'm going to come and rub your thoracic spine. You can do this with a back scratcher. You can do this with the corner of a wall. You can grab a friend and have them. But this is a part of us because it's behind us. Most of us don't really know where it is in space. Yeah, we're going to feel it and then we're going to move it. So we're going to keep the low back out of this. It's not allowed to move. We're only moving this upper portion of the vertebrae between the ribs. And to do this, I teach it in a couple different ways. One, you can have your arms straight out and locked out. 2, you can keep them in towards your chest. So there's a couple ways. I'll demo both of them. But if you know you don't like arms out, we'll start here, right? So for this, I'm going to do it standing just so you can see me. I've locked out my pelvis. I am not moving below my waist, theoretically. We'll see how well I do. I'm going to round backwards. So I'm opening up the vertebrae in that thoracic spine, and then I'm going to arch backwards, which opens up my chest. So if I'm using my hands here, I can think about rounding over my hands and then pushing my hands up towards the sky. Yep. If the hands are out, I can think about pulling my spine away from my hands and then pushing my chest up and through my hands. Shoulders are not participating. The spine is moving. It does not. I want them comfortable. You can bend the knee and grab your knee, and that's kind of nice to anchor as well. Do a couple reps of that. I'm going to keep coming around and what? You cracked. Chiropractic adjustment. So as you round, push. I want you to round through here. So round over your hands there. There you go. Yep. It should feel, theoretically, like a lovely stretch through that spine in between your vertebrae. And then round again. Really good. And if it's small for right now, that's okay. Round again. Try and pull my fingers apart. Keep the shoulders, keep rounding. Keep the shoulders out of it. Yes, so good. And then pull back. Really good. Yes.
I don't feel a thing.
Yep, sit up for me. Good. Now, pull your spine back towards the chair, but leave this still. So you're rounding, bring your hands to your chest. Try and round over your hands through here. So can you feel my finger here and my finger here? Can you pull this finger away from my lower finger? You're going to arch forward. That's it. Keep the shoulders out of it. Yeah, when you've done a few reps, recheck.
Lean forward and lean right.
Yep, and you're stretching through the spine, theoretically. This is, I mean, where are you have rods up here?
No.
Not in the upper spot? Okay.
No.
And then we're going to go into the arch. So you're going to pinch these back together. So now bring them up. Yep, all the way. So your chest now, I want this to aim for the ceiling. Yes. From here as much as possible. So the shoulders are down and you're pinching through here. Yeah, you got a bit more there. Can you feel that?
Sort of.
Okay, fair. Yes. Anybody finding some stuff?
They're working on it.
Yes. Do a couple more rounds and maybe bring your hands right here. See if you can pull your spine away from your hands and then push your hands up towards the ceiling. Round. Well, they don't want to move much at all, do they? Okay. Bring your hands into your chest and round over your hands. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is that stretchy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Breathe into that for me. Really good. And then pinch, close here, chest goes open. So think about sending those hands to the sky now, because this is pinching and closing, pinching, pinching, pinching. Yep, round again. Good. And then pinch, pinch, pinch. Really good. Good. Recheck that. How did that feel for you? Could you get some movement?
Yeah, I think I got some movement.
Great.
Flippers definitely got worse.
Flippers definitely got worse.
Really bad.
Whoa. Okay. Really, really interesting information. How did yours get? Neutral. Let me see your fingers. Don't let me pull them apart. They are stronger. Way stronger.
Okay.
Way stronger. So, I know you barely felt that movement, but yes, for those of you that this tested negatively, yay! It was not ambiguous. Okay, great. So you have a couple options with this. One, you can do this before bed and get in bed. For you, just given everything that's happening, I just want to make sure you are not moving anything from here, and that's what's causing a negative response. So you could try this Well, I mean, if you feel like you've got it, maybe just reduce the range of motion. Same for you. You might want to reduce the range of motion a little bit. I won't be there prying you, so it's going to be reduced anyway. But the sensory piece, I'll just say this. We're going to do one session where I bring in all my toys and you can play with all the different sensory things. We'll do like a round robin, vibration, heat, right? All of these things that can help you feel it. The better you can feel it, the better you can move it. So that's something that you could play with. But I would definitely spend some time with that and see what we can find. Yeah.
Should we try meeting that first?
You could. You got to go.
Do the
Yeah, with the idea that you just will feel it better with a little bit of sensory stim beforehand. For this, I often will use the corner of a door or a wall. Just be a bear in the woods, right? You can grab a towel or a strap, right, and rub that. Or if you have someone handy, you can just be like, hey, rub that for me. Right? Any other questions, comments? How was that for you?
It seems to light up some of the stuff in my back.
It does.
Yeah. So do it less. Try and
Do less and don't let it come from the back
That
at
must be
all.
what's happening.
Maybe, maybe not.
Or something up here is
Exactly,
leading to something
exactly.
down here.
Right. So just to say this, neurologically speaking, your thoracic spine connects to your lumbar spine. That sounds really obvious. It's not what I meant. The spinal cord runs down. Yes, Jessica, good. Based on gait patterns, if I have a right ankle problem, if I've got pain in my right ankle, I will move my left wrist. Movement in the left wrist will help stop pain in the opposite joint. That is based on the fact that we used to, we still walk with those in sync, theoretically. Many don't. But neurologically speaking, the thoracic spine, that pattern works with the lumbar. So the reason I gave you this is if you have low back pain, it may be that we need to mobilize this. Now, here's the thing. Where there's tightness, it will be compensated in mobility. So we are going to do some low back movements in a different class, but I started with this because most of the time, if you have low back pain, I'm not going to have you do low back movements right out the gate. I want to see what we can do to help with that first. But it could be that you actually need more mobility in the low back and less mobility in the upper part. So it could be that's pulling, we don't know, but just keep me posted. Do less, see if you can get a better result. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking the same thing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If I don't use that area that's stiff from
Yes.
the rod,
Yes.
then the muscles aren't going to be worked.
Right.
And so everything's going to hurt. Like
Yes.
turn, 'cause
Yes.
It's not being stretched.
Right. Yes. So for me, for you, across the board, like how do we get more movement in there? It's obviously not going to be full range. There's metal in there. But any movement of that area can be super helpful, right? So
Slightly painful.
if it's slightly painful, then I would modify it. But that may be where the heat or some of the sensory stuff comes in to see. But if you can move this and you can improve movement through here, then theoretically that could help that low back without moving the low back at all.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It's connected.
Because it's connected. Yeah? Any other questions with that? Okay. Could. All of these things are inputs, right? Again, we're kind of looking at the body through the lens of the nervous system. I've seen awesome things happen with TENS units. I've seen terrible things happen with TENS units. So not terrible, but it may or may not be right for you and what you're looking for. It's an electric stimulus, so you're dealing with, it will help activate muscles if they're sleepy, but could be happening with heat or vibration or any of those other things too.
Recommend the back massages then?
Test them. I'm going to say that about everything. Isn't that annoying?
I used to get them every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Then I had the rod put in.
For
I
you,
haven't gone back to it yet.
For you, I feel like having someone else manually move those tissues might be a great idea so that you get some kind of movement in there until you feel like you can actually move it. But I want you to test it because your body may be like, get your hands off me, and we want to know that.
So when I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking about using those muscles on either side of my spine to move. Yeah.
Yes, correct. You can also,
my shoulders.
not your shoulders. Yep. And actually, when you're rounding, you're using your flexors. One other thing you can try, look down before you round. See if that gives you more rounding. So we're using a visual reflex to get that movement, and then flick your eyes up before you open up. I should have just added that in, but there it is. So you're looking down before you round. There's a 2 to 3 second window where that reflex will work, and then you're going to flick the eyes up before you open up. Did that help? Awesome. Cool. There you go. Recheck after that. Still loving it. Okay, great.
It's a little rocky.
Woo! Well, we found something. All right. We're going to do our last piece. You all have been practicing this with your head positions all week, I'm sure. Oh, good. We actually did great. Let's do this in a fairly stable position unless you know you want the challenge. If these have been fairly neutral for you, come to standing for this. Otherwise, I want you to do this seated. And I want you to grab those charts with the lines on them. There is a letter Z in the middle. I should probably make my own versions of these, but whatever. We're using the Z Health ones. The idea is that you're going to look at that Z and then move your head in the direction of the line. So we're stimulating those canals that we were working on before, but now we're adding in a visual reflex. This is called a vestibulo-oculo reflex. Really big word. It won't make sense tomorrow, Nancy. Don't worry. Basically, though, it's one thing to stimulate the canals and not worry about your eyes. If we add the reflex of our eyes looking at the target as our head moves, then we are in some ways supporting the vestibular system and in other ways challenging it. So we're going to see what your brain has to say. Your eyes stay focused on the Z. So it's the eyes are locked in that position on the Z while your head moves in those 8 different directions. I am less worried about that, but the speed matters, and then I want you to come slowly back to the center. I have tape. If anybody's shoulders are bothering them, we can tape this to the wall. Are you having a hard time with it?
It's hard to keep my eyes on the Z.
Ooh, good. We found something else. Great. That's a reflex. We want that to work. Go slow. Go as slow as you need to in order to get it. And then recheck when you're done. How was that? Any change? No. So take these home, tape them up on the wall, do them standing, do them in challenging balance positions. See if you can get a bit more juice out of it, but no problem. You were able to do it easily. Great. And it may just be, we're going to play with the other things. Let me see your fingers. Don't let me pull them apart. So strong. So strong. Okay, fantastic. So you're going to look at your Z and you're going to move your head.
Yeah, I noticed the diagonals are a little harder.
The diagonals are a little harder. That it is common because we don't often move our head in those directions. We communicate with horizontal and vertical. The diagonals will be harder. The other thing you can do with this is to do it in a mirror. So I can look in the mirror and I can see my eyeball, and my eyeball is like the Z, right? And then I'm moving my head. So I can see some interesting movement patterns in the mirror. That can be super helpful. I spent some time. Good question. How did it test for you?
Good.
Great.
I knew it would.
You did. Okay, great. Do the number you did. And if you want to add challenge, you can do more. You can also speed it up, right? So you could also do the whole vertical line, right? And you're getting, I'll just say this, if you go into vestibular therapy, this is, for you, that was hard. Please don't listen to what I'm about to say. But eventually, if you're looking for more load, they do 100 of these, no, a full minute, 60 of these at 60 beats per minute. It is fast. It is hard. I have seen people throw up. This is called therapy. I have some questions. But And generally speaking, what I have found is, yes, you'll get better, but at what cost, right? I've found for most people, and some people don't, if we slow it down to a pace that feels appropriate for them, right, then we actually can get better movement and better results. So, but just know, if you need load, we speed it up, we do more reps, yes? Makes sense? Okay, awesome. Any questions? Yeah, there's spray bottles and wipes back there. Does everybody know what they're practicing this week?
Everything.
Everything. You're still murky, yes? The Brock string gave you a little bit of goodness. Let's check the colors in brighter light. You're all packed up and ready to go. What I'd love to know is if this is taped to the wall and you are, like do maybe 5 in each direction and recheck that. Just to see what the load does. Maybe stack it with the glasses if there's one pair that feels good. But stay in touch with me.
Should I do the string thing?
Do the string thing. Yep. Yeah.
Should we use the glasses with this as well?
You could. Very good question. Yes. Especially if it's hard, you could put the glasses on and it may make it easier. Yeah? You want to try it? Yes. VOR is the vestibulo-ocular-reflex. Yes. Yes, indeed. And again,
Look for that email.
yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure, if you don't get one from me
Oh, again?
tomorrow with today's class and everything in there,
Okay.
then I'll, send me an email because I don't have the right email then. Otherwise, if you do, I can resend, or you can go back and look for,
Yeah, I'll look.
check your spam. Did I go to anybody's spam? Okay. I go to some people's spam. I'm working on getting a verified email, but we're not there yet. My Gmail, it goes to spam sometimes, so definitely check that. Okay, great. Neurology of presence. Yeah, and that'll be in there.
Is it letting one line each all the way around, or keep doing like up and down like 10 times? They go
For you, I would be, it's good with the red.
really helps.
Perfect, fantastic.
Yeah, it
So
really helps.
I would do like 3 in each direction and recheck. I'd be curious to know if one direction is harder, or you can just play with it and see. But keep me posted, I'd love to know. You what?
My brain's asleep.
Your brain's asleep, it
I
needed
needed
some more
red glasses.
activation. Exactly. I used to wear these working out because they made me move like a goddess. Like, I mean, not hearts. These hearts are the cheapest ones on the internet. If you find that and they're fun, I figured they'd be great for class. If you find that these work for you, you may want to invest in, some that are a little less ridiculous. But thank you, Taryn. Just outside the door. That one I have to bring back down anyway, so no big deal. Any other? Yeah.
Yeah, so the stuff that made the test worse, just try less range? Is that the idea?
Yes. So for you, I don't want anything that's flaring anything. That's not the make worse that we're looking for. Interesting information, but we knew that nerve was already an issue. So we're looking for anything that's going to make it better. And if it did, did you find things that made it better today?
I found some things that made the flippers worse. There was some strange thing with the eye thing, maybe.
The Brock string?
The rock string, maybe not. I tried a couple times, it wasn't necessarily consistent, but I'm going to keep trying.
Okay. Yes. Bye. Thank you. Yeah. Try the smaller range of motion. Try the glasses with some of these things just to see. And diaphragm, how did that test?
That was where I started getting a little crampy.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. And it didn't test well. Bye. Have a great night. It did not test well.
And the thoracic curve.
The thoracic curves. What about this one? Pushing up under it?
That was neutral.
That was neutral. Okay. From last week, did you have high payoffs? They were all neutral or negative?
I
Okay.
think it was neutral. No negative.
Except for the sensation in your leg.
Except at the end, yeah, the very last one, yeah, and then 2 minutes later.
Yeah. Okay. Try making them more challenging and send me an email and let me know how it goes. And then make it less challenging. Try it with the colored lenses if any of them seemed useful. And I am curious for you about sensation stuff, so we can play with that. Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll see. I'm building this as we go. So, hey. Yeah, totally. Excellent. and we'll do those next time.